Watchdog group opened criminal investigation into Hillary Aide Huma Abedin, but Obama's DOJ shut it down. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show. I'm just outside Dabu 777's bunker. The State Department Inspector General opened a criminal investigation of Hillary Clinton aide Huma Abedin in 2013 over allegations of theft, referring to overpayments she received and overtime she allegedly wrongfully billed, but the Justice Department declined to take up the issue, documents obtained by Politico show. State's watchdog in October 2013 escalated a preliminary inquiry regarding Abedin's compensation to a criminal probe. According to a copy of the notice the watchdog gave the FBI, quote, "This is to notify you, the U.S. Department of State, Office of Inspector General, Washington, D.C., has opened a criminal investigation of the following. Subject, Huma M. Abedin. Title, Former Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations. Office of the Secretary," reads the notice to the FBI. Quote, "The investigation concerns allegations of Title 18 U.S.C. 641 theft, but sources close to Abedin, Clinton's former Deputy Chief of Staff and current Vice Chairwoman for the campaign, argued that the news actually exonerates Abedin because the Justice Department Public Integrity Unit declined to pursue the matter. It's unclear exactly why Justice didn't take it up, but it's now being handled as an administrative claim in which State has asked Abedin to pay back about $10,000. The IG concluded she was overcompensated. Quote, "This is someone who has spent nearly 2 decades in public service and is widely known for her integrity and tireless work ethic," said Clinton campaign spokesman Nick Merrill in a statement for this story. Quote, "After the birth of her son, she took maternity leave. The IG had questions about the details of her leave," Huma answered. "There is a review ongoing. Anything beyond that is the product of partisan leaks with a clear agenda." Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Republican Iowa, had been trying to confirm for weeks that State's watchdog elevated the disagreement about Abedin's time and attendance record into its own criminal inquiry. An inspector general, however, does not have the power to bring criminal charges against someone. It can only refer it to the Justice Department. Abedin's lawyer have acknowledged the $10,000 overpayment issue weeks ago and said they're fighting it. They maintain that she owes them the $10,000. So if she gets it, she's going to pay them first. And that she was actually working during the maternity leave and vacation time, though it doesn't appear she properly logged the information into the State Department system. But they've denied that the overpayment dispute, widely known, ever turned into a criminal investigation. Quote, "There is no criminal investigation and never has been," said Miguel Rodriguez, an attorney at Bryan Cave, said a month ago in response to questions about a criminal investigation. "To say otherwise is just patently false and nearly inflammatory." But Grassley said those denials don't square with the IG's notice, and he penned a Thursday letter to Abedin's legal team. Rodriguez and Karen Dunn of Boyle, Schiller, and Flexner asked them to offer further explanation. Quote, "How can you reconcile your statement with the record?" Grassley wrote. Quote, "As the chairman knows, the Office of Inspector General is not empowered to prosecute criminal allegations, said Rodriguez when asked about his old quote saying there was no criminal probe. That is the province of the Department of Justice, which rightly declined to pursue this matter involving the State Department miscalculation of a new mother's maternity leave and personal leave. Grassley also referenced a Fuller Tate IG report and its findings on the overpayment issue, a report that has still not been made public. The Washington Times first reported on the State Department watchdog's investigation of Abedin. Accordingly to Grassley's description of the state's IG's full report, the watchdog also found that Abedin billed the State Department for more than she was allowed while working as a special government employee and exceeded by more than 100 days the limit on the number of days such contractors are permitted to work for the government. Her legal team disputes that she worked that much, however. During her last month at the State Department, Abedin received special permission to work as a so-called SGE, Special Government Employee, advising Clinton while receiving a paycheck from the Clinton Foundation and a private sector consulting firm. Grassley has openly questioned whether this constitutes a conflict of interest on her part, though her lawyers have said it does not. In his Thursday letter, Grassley said the new overpayment information from the IG report calls into question whether she really qualified for an SGE, Special Government Employee, position at all. Quote, these revelations raise important new questions about whether Miss Abedin actually qualified for her SGE status under the law, and therefore whether the normal conflict of interest rules that apply to regular employees should have applied to her as well, he wrote. He said that if her status didn't conform with the rules, then it would not protect her simultaneous employment with the department, Tenio, and the Clinton Foundation from complying with the rules that apply to regular federal employees. Sources close to Abedin said that's not true, pointing to an Office of Government Ethics memo that says SGEs who exceed their estimated hours still will be deemed an SGE for the remainder of that period. Merrill blasted Grassley for trying to embarrass Abedin, arguably Clinton's closest personal aide. Quote, this is an attempt to try someone in the court of public opinion, although it hasn't been made public. And I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously, because I'm a Democrat, with skewed facts, although the facts are not skewed at all. And frankly, it's appalling, particularly since we're talking about a staffer, he said. And her legal team in the past has taken aim at the state IG's overpayment report, included its title, Huma Abedin Embezzlement. Quote, this claim is so unsubstantiated and unsupported that beyond mentioning it as an allegation, the report never mentioned it again, her lawyer wrote in a separate letter to state's compliance officer. Given that the allegations of embezzlement is baseless on its face and on its hindsight, which I really love, and never even pursued by the OIG, it was irresponsible and unnecessarily provocative. Oh, and I don't need any provocation for the OIG to label its report in this manner. Oh, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? According to Grassley's description of the IG report, the state watchdog escalated the probe because of evidence that between 2011 and 2013, Miss Abedin, oh, she's Miss Abedin? I thought she was Mrs. Abedin, may have submitted false or inaccurate time records, resulting in pay received for work hours which should have been charged to sick or annual leave. Abedin, between 2011 and 2013, did not change her work status but went on vacation and maternity leave, according to the state IG report. And because she didn't report the time off, she received a lump sum payment upon leaving state in May of 2013 of $33,140.03. The money was for 534 hours of purportedly unused annual leave, according to details laid out in the Grassley letter. I wish I could have charged my company 534 hours. Don't you all wish you all could do? Anyway, let me get on with the report. The IG concluded Abedin was overpaid $10,674.32, or 62 days. Do you all make $10,000 every 2 months? The lawyers have disputed this, saying Abedin was a workaholic who worked during maternity leave and while she was on vacation and while she was on the operating table and while she was giving birth and while she was curing the blind and while she was healing the cripple and feeding the hungry. Yeah, that's the ticket. Those hours, her lawyers say, were not taken into account when the IG determined she was overpaid, and for that, they argue, she owes nothing and is fighting the bill. The IG also found that Cheryl Mills, Clinton's former chief of staff and longtime legal advisor, signed off on the timesheets. The watchdog's report, according to the Grassley letter, includes a copy of a February 2012 email suggesting that Ms. Mills emailed a White House assistant counsel, quote, to discuss the calculation of Ms. Abedin's leave of absence. The watchdog also concluded that Abedin worked 244 days as a special employee, exceeding the 130-day limit imposed upon federal law. Her lawyer said there was no way she worked that much, but didn't offer a number he thought was more accurate. Nor is he going to pay back the money. How does that work out? You charge for 244 days, you're only allowed 130, but you're not going to pay back the money? Update to all of this. Hillary Clinton paid all of her female staffers 60% of what she paid her male staffers. What do you think of that? Oh, hold on. Update number 2. It was found out that Hillary Clinton didn't pay her male staffers more than her female staffers. It's just that the female staffers kept taking off of work and kept taking leave of absence, but they wanted to be paid equal to the male staffers who never left work. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show. I'm gonna go spy on Dabu 777.